Anyone else?
No, that's it, mate.
All right, smash your like on the video, guys, if
Yes,
you've not
come
done
on.
so already. Let's head on back then. Ooh, wrong one. To the next fight, which is third fight on the main card. Neil Magny versus Mike Malott. Very
Ooh.
nervous one. This one. If I'm honest, because I do think the UFC are trying to push
Yeah,
Mike Malott. I think
100%.
that's
Yeah.
pretty obvious, right?
Yeah.
But let's start off with talking about Neil Magny then,
Yeah.
because there's going to be one question on everyone's mind leading into this fight. If he loses, okay, this one. If he loses this one, he'll be 5-5 in his last 10 fights, right? Which is
Wow.
mad. With
Yeah.
a 2-fight losing skid against young up and comers as well.
Yeah.
Ian Gary being the last one. Retiring fighters doesn't really seem to be in the UFC's radar at the moment, is it?
No.
Because look, we still got the likes of Tony Ferguson still kicking around, and we got the odd veteran still in the game. But can you see Magny sticking around for much longer should he lose this fight?
No, yeah, you're 100% right. And obviously, the question that is a very, very good question. But
Because
this
the
is
fans are quite quick to retire fighters, aren't
no,
they?
yeah, oh yeah, of course, yeah, 100% they are. But look, this the thing for me is, I think Neil Magny and obviously Sai, if he was there, would agree with me. It's just he's a very frustrating fighter to watch
Mm.
because he's got all the skills and all the tools to win the fight.
Skill
But he
wise, he's
just,
quite unrated.
yeah,
Yeah.
this is what I'm saying. He's got a very good jab. He's very long. Obviously, we know how tall he is. And then there's certain fights where he doesn't. I don't know what he's thinking or what his team's thinking tactic wise. I don't know because like the one that frustrated us the most was the Chiesa fight. He was hurting
Yeah.
Chiesa. He was hurting Chiesa on the feet, like I don't know what, and then shot for a takedown, and
He's
then he
trying to
decides
get
to
a takedown.
grapple, and then he tries to grapple when he should strike, and then he strikes when he should grapple. But for this one against Mike Malott, obviously we know Mike Malott's got the power. But then again, Mike Malott's got great grappling. He's got great submission game as well. But if we're talking about retiring, he just needs to get it going. And I think if he can just get a win under his belt and then thrive off this win, then obviously we're not going to be talking about the R word. We're not going to be talking about retirement. But if he does lose, I don't know. It may be back to the drawing board. Maybe take a little bit of time off
Mm.
and then
Yeah.
maybe have a little think. But like you
Agreed.
said, he's losing to two up and coming fighters. It's one of them where you're thinking, right, I'm losing to these up and coming guys now. I'm not
Yeah.
losing to the guys in the rankings. I'm losing to guys that are up and coming.
Yeah, you're
So
just becoming
there
a
will be definitely be
gatekeeper
questions to
for
ask.
the
Yeah,
people in the top 15 or anyone
exactly.
coming
And like
through.
you've said, they've kind of technically done him a little bit dirty. And what they're trying to do is build Mike Malott. But again, like I said, if Neil Magny can get his game together, get a good game plan in, he could literally say "f you" to the UFC. Look, I'm still here. I'm still about. I'm still a veteran.
Yeah, for
But
sure.
yeah, he's just got to get his game plan on point for this fight.
Hmm.
Mix
Yeah,
it in.
as for Mike Malott, though, what's quite surprising is he's somebody we've probably missed out on our ones to watch for 2024. Really,
No, yeah,
how
you're
he's
right.
gone under the
You're right.
radar is crazy,
Yeah,
and the fact that he's had this fight booked
that's
for some
true.
time.
That's true. Yeah, you're right.
On a 6-fight win streak, 6 finishes, 4 by submission, 2 by knockout. And a win puts him into the rankings all of a sudden, and
Yeah,
it's starting to hot up down there at the bottom half.
yeah.
But what's his ceiling is a bit of the question here. Can he go
Yes.
on to being a future top fiver and a big star in this division?
No, you're right. I'm just trying to get the old. I was going to get the rankings up just to sort of see the welterweight division.
Because he's
But
he's
yeah,
he's showing us how well rounded he is,
no,
and
hundred
that's
percent.
what's
Like you said,
crazy.
he's got the like in is it the
Adam
Adam
Fugit
Fugit
fight.
fight?
Oh, the way he dropped him with the
Yeah,
switch stance right hook with the straight left to follow. And then as soon as Adam hit the floor, like he was wrapping up that guillotine. He's done a lot of
exactly
work
that.
at Team Alpha Male as well.
Yeah.
That's where
No,
that
he
guillotine's come
didn't
from.
bother trying to go for the ground and pound to get him out of there, went straight to the submission. So it just shows how confident, how well rounded he is for how young he is as well. So, and
Yeah.
how confident he is. So, yeah, I don't think we've really seen him sort of in danger. So,
No.
I don't think we can sort of say where the ceiling is at the moment because we've not really seen him sort of
It's
hurt
difficult
or in danger.
to put put a finger on it. And of course, matchup wise, does depend on whether or not he picks the right ones. If he beats Magny, he slots in around number 13 there. Above him, you've got Kevin Holland, Jack Della Maddalena, Ian Gary at 10, Vicente Luque, Jeff Neal.
Yeah.
So maybe he'll be picking off a loser.
There's a few fights there that you could actually stylistically win some of them fights.
Yeah.
Like Kevin Holland one, maybe. I reckon if he can hurt him on the feet, like I said, hurt him on the feet, use his grappling.
Or maybe he gets the Sean Brady versus Vicente Luque loser.
Yeah, that's potentially true, yeah.
Or the Ian Gary versus Jeff Neal loser. But on mentioning Ian Gary there, I got another question for you. Who will climb the highest in the rankings at welterweight? Mike Malott or Ian Gary?
Oh, so Ian Gary's booked to fight. Who's Ian Gary's booked
Jeff
to fight
Neal.
him? Oh, it's a tough fight, isn't it?
It is. It depends. I mean, look.
Tough fight.
It depends on who you think. Whether or not you think either one of them will become a champion.
I
if you think Ian Gary will become champion, then you would say Ian Gary because
of course you would.
He's higher up the rankings,
I just think stylistically and his well-roundedness, I think Mike Malott. Just because I think that Ian Gary's one-dimensional and that's just striking. Yeah, I know he's got a good takedown defense. Don't get me wrong, but we've seen him hurt on the feet. We've seen him compromised. He gasses a little bit as well. Again, I'm not to say that Mike Malott will or will not gas because we've not seen that yet. So, but yeah, I think just for how well-rounded he is, I'd probably say Mike Malott.
Yeah, I like that one. I do really hope that we get to see Ian Gary versus Mike Malott down the line. Because I think Mike Malott has got all the potential to get in there. In terms of who gets ranked the highest, I would kind of agree with you. Again, this is hypothetical because it does all depend on the type of matchups that
exactly
that.
Yeah, like you said, Mike Malott could get someone that's higher ranked than obviously Ian Gary and vice versa.
Yeah, and it is a difficult question to answer. But if you can answer it in the chats or in the comment section, let us know who you think. Do you think that Ian Gary will reach higher than Mike Malott or vice versa or whatever? Who will go furthest is what I'm saying.
Yes. Who will go further? Mike
in
Malott
their career.
Or Ian
there you
Gary.
go.
Right, a couple of chats in. George Murray says, what's the prize this week? He says.
Prize. We've got no prizes this week, I'm afraid. During the pay-per-view.
I'm sure we can do something, don't you worry. We'll sort something out.
The overall prize at the end of the Fight Picks app, of course, is going to be.
No, don't worry. Like we did have a conversation about this. We'll have a conversation off air. I think we'll definitely sort something out. So don't worry.
There's been some talks. We're gonna bring some more prizes. Don't worry, guys.
I definitely think for pay-per-views, whoever comes top of our Fight Picks league. Again, if you don't know what we're talking about, go in the description, join the league. If you become top on each pay-per-view, we'll sort something out. Again, more details will be obviously put out on socials about that. But yeah, I definitely think it's a good thing for us to do. For the pay-per-view weeks, if you're top or top two, you'll get something. All right.
Yes.
Anyway, jumping on to Breezy, he says, "Is the hype justified? Like he looks good, but hard to say if it's that good. I'd like to get JK's thoughts on comparisons to GSP. I'm guessing that's to Mike Malott."
Yeah, no, I like. That's a really good question. To be honest, the comparisons with Mike Malott and GSP is, I would say, distance management is a bit of a key. It's a bit of a big one because George was an absolute master with his distance, and that came from his Kyokushin karate background. Mike Malott, in terms of like his first discipline, I'm intrigued to know. Does it actually say in here? Mike's, don't get me wrong, has got some good punching power. He's physical. He's not quite got like the wrestling accolades. He's got good takedowns. I think there was the takedown he landed. I think it was the outside trip. He landed against Adam Fugit in the first round was really good, and quite surprising. But in terms of like, I guess that's more of a Greco-Roman style, whereas GSP would shoot for well-timed single legs and double legs that would send people across the canvas. Mad thing. It says here that House of Champions, Stony Creek, Ontario.
Why are you looking at? Get another chat.
Yeah, go on, Breezy
says, I mean, we all retired Ferguson at UFC 296. Yeah, because obviously we were talking about we as fans
Yeah,
retire fighters, don't we? And then
true.
MMA Anomalies in the chats. Welcome
Yes,
in, sir.
MMA Anomaly. Good to see you back,
Hope you're
brother.
doing well,
Long
sir.
time no see.
Hope you're doing well, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll let you finish
That's right,
that
button.
comment you had for Breezy.
Yeah, so I mean, the only thing that I can see at the moment is black belt and Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. That's the only thing that's on his Wikipedia page. There's nothing about what he did early on in what we started out in. But yeah, no, so some interesting comparisons there for sure.
I think we'll find out this weekend.
Of course, yeah. I'm going to be biased, of course. I'm going to say GSP's better than him at everything, but that's just me, you know?
Yeah, but like I said, Neil
difficult.
Magny's a test for anyone in this division. Don't get me wrong. I'm not disregarding that. Because obviously, like I said, stylistically, he can, if he can pull it together, he can beat Mike Malott. Don't get me wrong. But that's the thing. I think the UFC have fed him Neil Magny because he's on a bit of a skid. And obviously the hype of Mike Malott, and obviously in the old arena of Canada. So yeah. Anyway, next chat. George Mary says, I'll read it and then click on it because every time I read it, it comes up. So George Mary says that the way Ian Gary played with his food showed he is not all that level anymore. He is not on that skid Tony is, but it's not looking good for him. Not looking good in his favor.
Oh, right, okay. Yeah, no.
So have a little look at that. The way Ian Gary played with his food. I'm guessing he's on about the way that
yeah, I mean, I can I think
skid.
what's different between them two is Mike Malott will actually, I think, finish, or is more likely to finish the fight.
Yeah.
I mean, bearing in mind, coming into that fight, Ian Gary was on a few finishes himself.
Yeah.
But yeah, he effectively had a wounded gazelle in front of him.
No, yeah, I think Ian Gary should have finished the fight, but yeah.
He just wanted to make Neil Magny suffer. I think that was the main thing, really. He could have easily put a TKO beating on him.
Yeah, that's true. MMA Anomaly says Mike Malott goes significantly further than Gary based on skill.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so this is exactly what I said. I think, like I said a second ago, mate, I think Mike Malott is more well-rounded than Ian Gary. So, yeah.
All right, cool. So let's get into the gauge then for this. Out of the two, Neil Magny and Mike Malott, striking-wise, who are we going to go for? Bearing in mind, of course, Neil Magny's very good with his reach. Didn't really utilise it very well against
didn't, you know what I mean? But
Ian Gary. Ian Gary's quite long himself. Ian Gary, I think, was good at kind of managing the distance quite well and when to kind of enter and exit. But for Neil Magny, it is going to be down to whether or not he can keep Malott at the end of his punches. Yeah, no,
exactly that. And I think, like you've said it there in one. I think if Neil Magny can get his jab off, utilize that range that he does have,
use the kicks,
keep Mike Malott at bay, stay away from the power, then I think you've got to give Neil Magny striking. But like I said, I've seen some good striking from Mike Malott and how early he is in his career. But if you're going based on just longevity wise, we've seen more of Neil Magny striking. We have seen him put it together a few times. It's a tough one because obviously Mike Malott's talented, but
I'm just intrigued on how it's going to look like in the clinch, whether or not Magny's going to be awkward because of his size, and whether he can perhaps get Mike down and put Mike on his back.
Yeah, that's true.
But if we're going to put striking to one of them, who's it going to be come fight night?
Say that again, sorry?
If down to striking wise, who's it going to come down to on fight night?
Yeah, that's it. If it's on fight night, I'm going to go Mike Malott.
Mike Malott. Okay, cool. Locking that in the blue corner. Ooh. Grappling wise, though.
Grappling wise, I don't know, because I was going to give it to Neil Magny just off, but then Mike Malott's finishing dude. So
Mike Malott is submitting guys at the moment. Isn't he? He is a black belt, whereas I believe Neil Magny is a brown belt.
Oof.
I know. And it's crazy because I'm pretty sure Neil Magny's had a really good submission win on his resume. Who was that against? Actually,
was it against RDA?
No.
It wasn't against RDA, was it?
No, RDA submitted him.
Oh, that was it.
No, actually, I'm thinking about Daniel Rodriguez, but that's not even a hard person. Well, I wouldn't say it's a hard person to submit, but it's not one that's a good blow.
Yeah,
Actually, no, I'm getting mixed up because I'm getting mixed up with the fact that he TKO'd Hector Lombard. Like that was actually surprising.
Oh yes.
But in terms of like a submission, he's submitted 4 people in his career, and I don't think any of those have been in the UFC.
All right. Okay. All right. Well, yeah. Just purely because I see Mike Malott so confident. We said a second ago, he dropped Adam Fugit with his hands. Could have gone in for the TKO, but goes in for a submission. How confident he is in his grappling. I'll probably go Mike Malott.
Yeah. All right. Can you clear that chat for us? We still got a chat there.
So sorry. Yeah.
All right. I'm going to make the decider for you. Neil Magny has been submitted 6 times.
Yeah. No. Yeah.
So that's
I can
kind
see
of
it now
given
as well.
it?
You're gonna hear it first. You hear it first on the Against the Fence breakdown show. Mike Malott, head and arm chokes Neil Magny.
Oh, done. I can see it. Yeah.
Done.
I can see it. All right. Power.
It's Mike Malott.
All right, cool. Speed.
It's going to have to be Mike Malott again. But then cardio's got to go to Neil Magny.
All right, yeah. We'll give cardio to Neil Magny. I think that's pretty fair. What do you guys reckon in the chat? Do you disagree with any of those?
Let's have a little
We've got it 4-1 for Mike Malott. And we've already got a prediction from you.
Yeah, I'm going submission for Mike Malott. Yeah, I reckon he hurts him on the feet. Neil Magny sort of stumbles to the mat, and I reckon he sinks in that head and arm choke. But I'll get to a couple of chats before you read your prediction. George Murray, I'm going to read it and then click on it. George Murray says if Malott wins, he has the option for winner of Brady versus Luque or Gary versus Neil, because they're all fighting on the next pay-per-view. Perfect time to recover and come back for cards in the autumn. Ooh, says George Merry.
Yes.
Yeah, I think you mentioned that a second ago, didn't you? Saying that, potentially maybe fight because Brady's quite ranked high up, isn't he, Brady?
He is. That's going to be a fight night headliner.
If Brady loses, he could potentially fight Brady, I reckon. That's a good shout. MMA Anomaly says, got a couple of meetings. We'll watch the replay later, though, fellas. I'll catch you in a bit, sir. Thank you for tuning in.
No
Breezy says, he says bye to MMA Anomaly. TMM's in the chat. Welcome in, sir.
Oh, TMM, welcome back, brother. He goes, Neil Magny sub D-Rod. Nice one. Yeah.
That was what
got there before us. Yeah.
And Raphael's in the chat.
Salute, Raphael. Love that. Love your new logo as well, buddy. Welcome on in. Good to see you in. Whack that like button, indeed.
Last two. By the way, lads, welcome to Arnold Allen Fight Week, says TMM.
Woo! Yes. Triple A in the house. We're rooting for Triple A. Don't forget to join us and watch that fight with us this weekend for the watch long. Lincoln's coming your way.
George Merrick.
Oh, is he? Oh, okay. He's going to be DMing then. All right then. Prediction wise, I've actually got at the moment TKO round 2 for Mike Malott. I think that's purely because he's coming off of submission wins. So I'm expecting a knockout.